Jolan True, welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and welcome to another episode of our little A to Z officer series. Today, although we had so many officers, we once again have a common officer, and as you can see on the name, we're getting closer and closer to the end of this series for the time being, because we already are at V with Vartoq. But we still have a look at the basics first. He's class command, which means you need command badges to upgrade him. He's from the group Glory in the Kill, well, very Klingon. And that means if he's captain, he can get synergy from others of that group, or he can give synergy to a captain of that group. And of course, he is from the Klingon Empire, which means you need Klingon faction credits to upgrade him. And as usual, there's an info text in the info box about this officer. He's not one of the famous figures here in the game, but still, if you want to know something about him, you can read that. As you already have heard, he does have a captain maneuver, and that's Interceptor Specialist. When inside an Interceptor, Vartoq increases the weapon damage against players by 20%. So Vartoq is kind of one of your first PvP officers in this game. Usually makes sense if you start in the beginning on a new server. Then this is really the interesting part with one of the first basic ships very early in the game, after you reach the ops level where you can go for other players and you have an interceptor. Then this is definitely the choice for a captain for your first steps into your PvP play in this game. PvP is nice. You know that I'm always filming all my STFC videos on a Monday, except when we have a new arc, then I have to reschedule some stuff. But in this case, tonight when I'm filming this, from the point of view when I'm filming this, we have an incursion again. Those are the moments when I really like PvP. That's incursions, and that's territory defenses and territory takeovers. That's where I really like it. They exaggerated. I talked about this recently with all the PvP they brought into the game sometimes, but incursion is really something I like. And today it's really funny because my server where I have my big account is up against the server where I have my Ops 12 account. So there's one alliance I definitely will not attack during this incursion. But nevertheless, there are always some mean people around, and I have no problem with them because it's only an Ops 12 account. No, kind of nobody on this server anymore can attack that account, which are only reserved for certain videos for low level stuff. When they bring it in, I still have to make videos on the new academy, and they invented, so that's why I need that account. But I'm not growing there, so those bullies can't touch me. But they're mean to some people from my alliance there, and so when I move over tonight, I can teach them a little lesson, because my other account looks a bit different power-wise. Nevertheless, when you start on a new one, and when you're not into incursions yet because all the levels of the players on the server are too low for incursions, then you already will need something for PvP, because if you want to test it. And I'm always getting asked by newer players, what officers can I use? Vartoq is one of those that you can use on your first steps. And he also does have an officer ability, which is kinetic boost. And that means if the opponent is a player, once again a PvP ability, Vartoq increases the damage made by the kinetic weapons of the ship by 20%. That of course only makes sense if the ship has kinetic weapons. If you don't know if it does, either go to the upgrading part and click your weapons there, then it will say that, or you have a look at the at my database on Discord where I have the firing pattern for all ships. It also says if the weapons are kinetic or energy weapons. As a common officer, he does not have traits for away team assignments, so I'm not using him anymore, of course, because I use all the older officers on away teams, but in this case I can't. So he's just sitting around and I'm not using him anymore. But at the beginning of the video was the same when I started my Ops 12 account. Then he is quite useful. And you will have him extremely early because he is in the standard recruit section. and he's a common officer here, so the probability for getting him is quite high. When I find him, with scrolling, there he is, Vartoq, and you get the tokens regularly from the beginning, but even if you don't have the tokens, if you've seen my video on this, you will know that you can get officer shards here in this recruitment section, even if you don't have the tokens. And so the probability that you have them very, very, very early is quite high. So if you are on the very early stages of PvP and you are using Vartoq, please write in the comments what's your experience with that. And if you are a more experienced player, just let us know how you used him when you were on those low levels. And if you want to see another video now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.